What's going on, guys? We are back. We already talked about European dream teams that could take down Vitality. Let's now look at the North American side. What North American teams could realistically be built, not necessarily to take down Vitality, but could at least do some damage in the cross-regional play? Like, some of these teams could obviously take down Vitality, but more of getting North America back on the map. So we're going to have some North American teams that can do some damage. I'm probably forgetting players. Let me know who I forgot. I'll give you a small hint here. I don't have Arsenal on any of these teams yet. Doesn't necessarily make perfect sense, but we're just spitballing here, all right? So let's go over some high-quality rosters that I think could work incredibly well. So we're going to try and kind of rank them towards the bottom. It might not be ranked as high, or it might not be as accurate, but we're just going to kind of go through the scene here. So let's start. We already know there's two teams that are very likely staying together. Actually, I just thought of a good team for Arsenal. So, but we'll see how it all works out. Very likely these two teams are going to stick. They're going to be probably two of the better teams based on who they pick up. And on both of these cases, we're going to get into this. I don't know why that. There we go. Nope. I guess we need the blue box. Both of these cases, it's between First Killer, in my opinion, to do the most damage, or Atomic. And we can write this in on both sides here. My phone's blowing up. Sorry if you hear that. Let's put a little space here and make it look a little neater. First Killer or Atomic on either of these squads. I think these squads have a chance to be World Championship capable. So I'll be interested to see how that all plays out. I assume First Killer's going to one of these teams. We haven't heard anything about G2 yet, but my guess is Atomic might also move. And if they don't go to these teams, I think First Killer and Atomic could then team up, right? So it could be another thing there. But those two teams can do a ton of damage. Obviously, Abject, Chronic, First Killer, I think might be your best option to take down Europe because they have a European on the team. But because I think Abject and Chronic were so fantastic of a duo, so consistently good, number one team in North America. You add a First Killer who won't have to do as much on this squad and maybe can pass the leadership role over to Abject and let him do that stuff. He can focus more on just his game. I think that would be a fantastic team and could be a world beater team. Daniel Beastman, First Killer, obviously, a lot of people talk about that roster a lot. So much mechanical skill. I think it could still be an up and down season. They could be the best in the world at times. They could be middling at times as well. I think Atomic kind of fits into both those teams as well. I would say First Killer is the better player, but I think Atomic could also fit based on team dynamics and all that stuff. Atomic, known for his passing ability, but First Killer is too. So it's like either way could kind of work out. Atomic, probably more of a front man. I think First Killer might be, like, he could be the front man, but he could also be pulling back a little bit. It just depends on roster dynamics. So I think those two squads, fantastic either way. I'm going to go a little bit out of the way here that a lot of people are not talking about. And this is more on the Dream Team side. We're going to go CRR, Raise Bull, and we're going to drop a J. All right? Or no, a G. Sorry. We're going to drop a G instead of AJG. We're going AJ. Obviously, communication issues would be a problem. I would assume this is more of a Dream Team scenario. I think this team could do a ton of damage. All three players at any moment can pop off and just score a fantastic goal. I think this would be a lot of fun to see. I very much doubt this would actually happen, but it'd be pretty cool. I guess I shouldn't have capitalized as R's, right? They're normally lowercase. There you go. But it'd be a fun roster to watch. So I'm going to put AJ there because I think he's like probably a tier 1 free agent, but where does he exactly go? Who knows? Speaking on that, that team would actually probably do a lot of damage. Probably third best. From there, I'm not really sure. I think a lot of these teams would be kind of in the middle. I'm trying to think of a team because I wrote down some. Don't have a spot for Common Arsenal right now. So why not? Let's put them together. We'll put them down here somewhere. Arsenal, and we'll just leave it there for a bit. I think that team could be a lot of fun. It's a big yapping team. So we'll see who can actually work with that squad. I'm not really sure where I'm going with that one yet. So we'll just leave that there to just think about. Next team. Maybe in order, maybe not. LJ, Hoxer, and I think Nolly. Nolly could really work here on this squad. I think to facilitate those two, to let them do the things to make them shine. He's obviously already taken Chronic from a bubble player to all the way at the top. Well, obviously, LJ and Hoxer are better than just bubble players right now, but they're still on the climb up, right? You bring a Nolly in, player that's off the ball, that doesn't get a lot of credit, that makes his teammates better. I think that roster could do some damage. So I think LJ, Hoxer, and Nolly would be a lot of fun to watch. And honestly, I think it could be kind of fun. I don't know. Like, I think that team could be pretty OP. If Nolly can do the same thing that happened with Chronic to LJ and Hoxer and just raise their levels, that team could be deadly. I think it would be a top 5 team in North America. Next up, let's go with Shopify Rebellion, who's been looking very, very good. 2-piece and Parth with Garrett G. We've already seen this team in the draw, and they've looked very, very good throughout. I think Garrett G, obviously, it's 2 players that have been around the scene but have never been into the top tiers. Maybe bringing Garrett G with that leadership role could really work here. We've seen it work like in the draw. Like obviously those matches are a little different, just kind of like random best of 5s throughout. And if you lose once, you're out. It's not like the most official tournament, and it doesn't have all the best teams in it, but I still think they can do some damage. Obviously, 2-piece and Parth are on their way up. We've seen Shopify contend before. They had some top 8 finishes. If you upgrade with maybe a Garrett G, that could work. They could sneak into like number 5 in NA. I'm probably forgetting some people, so let me know. Again, comment below what your dream teams are for North America that can do some damage against the world. Common Arsenal, we're going to hold this one. I'm still not sure. Where I'm going with that. All right, so let's talk about this. We got Yan, we got Lost, and now this team's a little bit kind of like the Complexity team. Probably wouldn't actually work, but I think it's kind of fun to think about. A Mist or a Sip. I think either one, like if they are invested in Rocket League and want to play and put in the hours, honestly, I think this could kind of work. Like Yan and Lost, speedy boys, going to be upfield a lot, especially Lost. So I would prefer them putting Lost back into that role. He kind of like lost that role when he came over to Furia, and they were trying to figure out exactly where to put Lost. The beautiful thing about Mist and Sip is like, you put them with any team dynamic, I think they figure it out. You tell the other players to play how they want to play. I think Mist and Sip, either one can fill that role that is needed, like on the squad. It just depends, obviously. Hours played, yada yada, all that stuff. So I think either one of those 2 players could work on this lineup. Obviously, communication issues and all that stuff would be tough. Language barriers, all of that. But a man can dream, right? So on top of that, let's throw Mist and Sipical here as well with Common Arsenal. I think it could be fun. Obviously, Common Arsenal, one of them is going to have to dial back the demos at least a little bit. Could be fun. You bring in Mr. Sip, who's trying to reinvigorate their career. And it's kind of like the leftovers, right? Of like, Com gets booted. In this world, Arsenal gets booted. And they're trying to rebuild. It could be fun to see them try and fight back and prove everyone wrong. And the roster could honestly work. But they would have to figure it out a little bit in the middle. It'd be chaotic, for sure. And they would have to figure it out. But I think Com would be the man upfield. Arsenal would be somewhere in the midfield. Mist and Sip, whoever it is, 3rd man role, trying to hold it down. Last team that I want to talk about that I almost forgot to put, Riddles, Magic, and I'm going to go Justin. I think someone else put this roster too. The Bop Pops, I think it was. I think this roster makes a lot of sense. Riddles and Magic, obviously, were performing a lot better towards the end of Spring Split. Their major run didn't go that well, but, you know, it is what it is, right? They lose an AJ. You gain a Justin, who now on a new team dynamic this could possibly work. We've seen Squishy kind of move upfield a lot on energy at times and be that front man. I think Reynolds obviously is going to do that anyway, so you don't really have to worry about that. I think Reynolds can open up some space for Justin to show off his mechanical ability and show that, he may be old in terms of Rocket League, but it don't matter. He's still got game. But that roster, again, could do some damage. Like, obviously, with all these rosters, it'd be tough to rank. Like, I'd probably have this one as number 1. Or, yeah, it'd probably just be 1, 2. Like, honestly, I'd probably put this one 3rd. LJ Hoxer, yeah, probably 4th. Like, honestly, I might have actually put them in the exact right order. I think I would flip. I'd probably put Arsenal, Mr. Sip last. I'd probably bump them down there. And then I would put Yan, Lost. I'd move them up 1 spot here. Reynolds, Magic, Justin, Calm, Arsenal, Mississippi. Like, take or leave either one of these rosters. I could see either one working. Could even just bring together Arsenal and Reynolds again. Why not? You could do any of those. But they would challenge for majors, I believe. Again, probably forgetting people. I just kind of spitballed this idea, just threw it together in a couple of minutes. I thought it'd be a lot of fun to just think about teams, what could possibly happen. Obviously, we know North America is exploding. We'll see how it works. I did forget people. I forgot Jane Epps in Chicago. I knew I forgot someone. Put them with someone. I don't know. You tell me who Jane Epps and Chicago should play with. Name a player, any player that's not Atomic, and let me know what that roster is. But that's it. North American Dream Teams that could challenge the world. I think it's possible. I think it's possible that North America makes a bounce back next season, and it could all start with these top 2 teams. I think these 2 teams are going to do some damage. If they do actually happen, they're going to do some damage. And if they don't, and a First Killer and Atomic team up, whoever they get as a 3rd could also do some damage. So, North America down in the dumps, but it is time to revive it. They're the Phoenix. I don't know the exact words. They're the Phoenix, right? Burn everything to the ground. The Phoenix comes out, flapping its wings. You see First Killer wearing a wing costume on a walkout. Let's do it. But that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you again next week. Probably more roster news coming out. I know there's been some I haven't technically talked about on here, but there's a lot. There's a lot going on, and I wanted to get these videos out. So, thank you again. We'll see you next time.